here, 3v3 faction war. This is Calderis Refinery and Space Marines versus Tyranids. Game 2. First up for the Tyranids, we have X-Ray Dog as a big stompy Hive Tyrant. Look at him stomping, walks through cover and cannot be suppressed. Very good durability, offense, disruption and support. Begins in melee combat with a basic synapse alongside Rags no Chinkonka stepping in as the Ravener Alpha, turning command with great mobility, can bring some pretty painful offense as well. Starts in ranged combat, and rounding off the Tyranids is Torpid as a Lictor Alpha melee specialist that can infiltrate and disrupt. There's his flesh hook, killing a scout outright. Has a little bit of support and some awesome offense going up against the Apothecary of Dark Riku. Support commander that fights in melee combat by default begins with a targeted heal and a passive health regeneration aura, being chased by Hormagaunts. Phantom Land alongside is a Techmarine, starts out range combat, some good DPS, can also build structures and repair, some nice utility and can deal with vehicles very nicely too. And rounding off the red Space Marine team is another Techmarine. This is Adila. Can they build on the first game here, Tyranids, and take it 2-0? They were quite dominant. Space Marines did rally in tier 2 but just couldn't keep that pressure up. So much pressure from the Tyranids, they just couldn't push them back long enough. 1-to-1 cap early on. Techmarine behind cover shooting up termagants, as are tactical marines. Very similar colour schemes from Phantom and Riku, and Phantom has lost his scouts. Hormagaunts munched them up in mid and are now capping. X being backed off by Adila. These guys were in the same lane on the first game, of course. Didn't go quite as well for Adila as he would have hoped. He was the Force Commander, now he's the Techmarine. He can do pretty damn good versus Tyranids in all tiers, I think. Are we going to see the Mastercrafted Bolter or Bionics, or even both in tier 1 from Adila? Phantom Land going for Devastators, as does Riku. And I think that's what you got to do against Tyranids in a 3v3 scenario when you're all the same faction. Especially on this map, you can load up on setup teams and cover all approaches and do quite well, but we'll see. Might lead to a bunch of zone throats in tier 2, which is painful. Hormagaunts forced off. These are Torpids. For the carry leading a charge. Bolt pistol and chainsaw for this guy. Doesn't do a huge amount of damage to start off. In fact, he never really does. But the power rats can be scary. Nice grenade though from Riku on his Hormagaunts, who are now in retreat. These are Rags and they need to retreat all the way back here. But he does have a tunnel up, of course. Ravener Alpha backing away. 500-375. Double cap for the Tyranids. Very strong start again, as you'd expect. Apothecary heals himself and runs away. Warrior Brood is up for X-Ray and Torpid. Adila going for some Devastators of his own, but he spent his power at the moment on a Tarantula turret over here, which could be very, very important. It's nicely covering this area, as you can see. You need to flank all the way around here to get to it cleanly, and it's going to cover this power nicely. If they can build some gens on this and keep them and really get a power advantage, you could see Space Marines doing very well. That was a nice grenade from Adila. He's so good with his grenades. 500-342. Tactical Marines turn to engage those Barbed Strangler Warriors, trying to take a model off them, and they get away with 2. 2-to-1 cap for the Tyranids. A tunnel here going up in a very awkward position for the Space Marines, very much behind enemy lines if they spotted it. Hormagaunts Warriors getting out. In fact, these are Raveners, pardon me. Ravener Brood for Rags to try and deal with the setup teams towards this west side. There's a Burrow Strike. What's he gone for? He's gone for this one right in front of this turret though. That was not a good choice. Ouch. And another setup team right in their face as well. That was painful. Hormagaunts just about getting away. Raveners only lost one model. Here comes Torpid with a flank attempt. Is it? Or is he going straight for power here? I think he's just trying to pull these blobbed up Space Marines away from each other. You don't want Space Marines, you don't want to fight them all next to each other, because they start to buff all over the place with their inspiration in tier 2 and stuff. support each other quite nicely, especially with an Apothecary there, giving his health regen aura to everything. Assault Marine's using that jump to destroy the tunnel. Nicely done. Do you get XP though if you destroy it like that? I'm not sure. 500, 294. Devastator is setting up. These are Phantoms and is going for advanced targeting. Nice to see this in both games so far. But it's generally an underused upgrade, I think. And it's only 75 rec now, I think. 499, 290. Lictor Alpha goes down in retreat. Tactical Marines level 2 can force melee combat as this stuff runs away or not. Retreating into 2 heavy bolters. But they get away okay. And that turret there's so much suppression to deal with. Maybe they should just leave it for now. Cap the central VP and support X. Because it looks like he's under pressure here from Adila. Adila goes tier 2, as does Phantom and X and Rags. Dark Riku with a 111 build again. Assault Marine's getting healed up at base. His Devastator's in retreat. He's all kicking off around this power, and they don't have any gens up on it, so Tyranids doing a reasonable job putting pressure on. Raven Alpha just about gets away. Ravener Brood in melee combat with Tactical Marines who get their heal. Mastercrafted Bolter is up for the Apothecary. He's going to try and shut down the Lictor Alpha and the Ravener Alpha with this. Especially if we see one of those very dangerous melee Ravener Alphas in tier 2 with Acid Splatter, which can be incredibly painful. Tactical Marines decapping, or rather keeping it decapped. I think they were actually trying to cap their 452, 290. Still a healthy VP lead for the Tyranids, but Space Marines have the upper hand, I feel. Have done well in engagements, have controlled the west side nicely with heavy bolters. Having said that, the Tyranids have hit power, so they've done a good job to do that. Space Marines now trying to transition into the mid as they head into tier 2. Those Hormagaunts white, 436, 290, those were Torpids, yes they were. He has some Raveners of his own. We might see the deadly jump from the Lictor Alpha if he was alive to jump on these Devastators. 429, 290. No sign of... Oh, we do have the damage synapse aura. No sign of the hardened carapace or whatever it's called that allows him to burrow. There's a capillary tower and a tunnel. If they can force off the Tyranids here, they can push ahead and destroy that stuff. Here's another capillary tower. Ravener's burrow striking in, doing very well, but there is marked target on them. Who's that from? That's from Phantom Land, but he went down straight afterwards. Adila with Bionics and the Mastercrafted Bolter, and now he's going for Orbs. Orbs will not shut down a Tyrant Guard. It won't stun it, but of course it will completely drain its energy, which is not a good place to be in for a Tyrant Guard. It can't go into shield wall, and it can't charge away if it's got no energy. Just about goes into shield wall just in time. That was a very quick reaction from X-Ray, and he might have saved his Tyrant Guard there. A Brood Nest going up in a very strange place. Why did he put it there? Instantly going to go down. 362, 290 as a capillary tower. That turret went down as you saw there, but did its job very well in tier 1. Kept this power for a long time and kept X at bay, but now he's unleashed the Tyrant Guard again, as he did in the first game. Melter Gun is up for the Techmarine. Awesome anti-everything damage. 359, 290. Zone Throat getting shots on this Tarantula turret. Artillery unit for Tyranids doesn't need to set up and doesn't do friendly fire, also grants a health regen synapse. 359, 290. Assault Marines going after it. It's very fragile. Just a few hits from them. The Sergeant did a special attack there. If he didn't, he might have taken it down. We also had the double termagants though with their crippling poison, so perhaps not. 359, 284. Ravener Brood under melee synapse here, and these are melee Raveners for the time being anyway, so they're getting that plus 60% health. Apothecary there, he's fully kitted out, Mastercrafted Bolter, Armor of Purity and improved medical equipment, retreating just in time to avoid the pullback from that flesh hook And we do have feeder tendrils up, a power weapon that heals the Lictor Alpha on each strike. Every bit as awesome as that sounds. It's a 2-to-1 cap for the Tyranids, 359, 263. Space Marines doing reasonably well. Phantom Land. He's gone straight to tier 3 and has a Predator tank on the way. Good grief. Dreadnought on the field for Adila. Going for the assault cannon. Still has those Devastators and this melter gun. Techmarine is switching back to his mastercrafted bolter. You can freely switch between all of your purchased war gear on your commanders, but you just need to wait 20 seconds for the purchase to happen. Venerable Dreadnought dropped by Phantom Lander. He cancelled that Predator tank, and there's the Emperor's Fist. Good grief, an awesome call from Phantom Land. Again, X-Ray putting a brood nest in a very forward position and losing it. Raven Alpha goes down. There's that inspiration from the Venerable Dreadnought, and it has a very strong inspiration as well. 359, 229. A unique walker to the Techmarine, can charge and has some awesome melee as well. And 1750 hit points, let's not forget. And this thing can level up, of course. 359, 227, 1-to-1 cap. Lictor Alpha in combat with Assault Marines, not really what they want to be doing with those feeder tendrils, but they do okay. And now disrupt this blob. And Raveners, are they going to take down this turret? It's being repaired. Zoanthrope getting shots in though. Forces off the blob. Zoanthrope still getting shots. These scouts need to be careful. Mr. Riku, he does retreat them. And now this turret will most likely go down. Raveners should be able to get a DPS on before Phantom Land can support. Can the Assault Marines jump? No, they can't. They don't have the energy. Gonna catch them in retreat though. Can they get a model? Nope. Ravener's doing well in this game. Venom Brood up for Rags. Trying to take on this Dreadnought. We don't see any war gear for the Hive Tyrant. No sign of Crushing Claw. The Turret Guard itself will do a lot of damage to a Dreadnought though. Lots of heavy melee DPS on this guy. Techmarine runs away, is level 4. Almost level 5, has done very well. 268, 227, it's close. Double cap now for the Space Marines. X has been under a lot of pressure, as Adila was in the first game. This Venerable still charging around, and it's almost level 2 already. Awesome. There you see the global repair from one of the Techmarines, not sure which one. Adila still in tier 2, having got that Dreadnought, but Riku is tier 3, and you might see Terminators. In fact, he's got something, and it is, these are his Terminators here. Storm Bolters and Power Fists inspire on each creel, so will synergize really well with his Venerable also inspiring. Devastator is just about getting away with 12 hit points. This Venerable needs to be very careful with taking shots from the Venom Brood, which do a lot of DPS. Lictor Alpha is level 2. No sign of the deadly jump. Look at the damage that the Raven Alpha is taking there from this little range blob that Riku has going. Tactical Marines with Sergeant and Terminators. They're going for the Cyclone Missile Launcher, which could be invaluable versus the usual monstrous creatures that stomp around in tier 3. In fact, X-Ray already has a Carnifex. No upgrade for it yet. Terminator's tanking some damage, but I need to teleport away. There we go. 241, 211. 2-to-1 cap for the Tyranids, but Adila continues to put pressure on X. He has the VP for now. What is he going to go for? I would go for a Thornback and just charge right into all this stuff and tie up the Dreadnought while other things go after those Devastators. So Adila knows it's there. He does have the Melter Gun and the Orbs. He's helping to repair this Venerable alongside Phantom Land's Techmarine. Tyranids pushing hard now. Can they get a decap on this VP? Riku doing his best to defend. A turret is still over here. This is a new one. And here's a Predator tank from Phantom Land, really embracing the Techmarine with vehicles aplenty. Riku doesn't have a lot of resources now and has a whole lot of upkeep. Look at that. Does have A pretty nice army though. Level 2 Assault Marines, level 2 Devastators, level 4 Tactical Marines, and a kitted out level 6 Apothecary. That is a powerful heal now. 241, 168. He's gone for a Barb Strangler Carnifex. An awesome upgrade, not what I would have gone for though. Did get a buff in 2.2 as well. With the Venerable and his Predator tank around. Another Predator on the way. Is he going to live to regret that Barb Strangler? He spat out some Spore Mines. Wow, Assault Marines taking insane amounts of damage, but they did get their Melter Bomb in. You saw the Assault Cannon barrage from Adila's Dreadnought. There it is. 237, 159. You also saw those Cyclone missile launchers being shot in there. 233, 159. This is a huge engagement now. The Apothecary goes down. Can really go down in a flash to ranged blobs in tier 2, tier 3. Techmarine, what's he up to? Runs away. Stone Guard veterans also in retreat. And Space Marines holding firm for now. That Carnifex is taking a lot of damage. There's a Tyrant formation. Most likely from Rags. A really good nuke, I think. It spawns so quickly. You get very little opportunity to move. And lots of disruption and some good damage. And these towers also grant synapse as well. 189, 159. 2 Predator tanks for the Space Marines. They also have this Venerable Dreadnought, which is now level 2 still. Carnifex for Rags. Swarm Lord for Torpid. Yup, lots of armor. Is it worth it? Oh, he's gone for it. He's gone for the Venom Cannon on the Hive Tyrant. Just about to say, is it worth going for the Venom Cannon on this guy? And he's going for it. We'll see how that thing does. It is a very nice weapon statistically. But I usually feel that it's better to have your Hive Tyrant stomping around, disrupting and tanking damage. But we'll see how he does with it. Raven Alpha's fully kitted out. Corrosive Devourer. Awesome, awesome. Commander, ranged weapon. Regenerate. Wasn't expecting that, and that Synapse Aura. So he spent a lot on his Raven Alpha. Triple cap for the Space Marines. 141, 159. It's still very close though. Now taking out Capillary Towers, giving some nice XP to Adila's units. Triple cap. Do the Tyranids have an answer? They have decent armies, but so do the Space Marines. 2 Predator tanks from Phantom. Has the extra armor on both. Predator for Adila does not. Tyranids are pushing Red Team's natural and the mid at the same time. There's a Brood Nest. That's a better place to put it. Another Capillary Tower. 91, 159. Can they turn around this triple? They decap Red Team's natural. Here comes a Swarm Lord. Warrior Brood in amongst Tactical Marines. Those are level 4 Tactical Marines though, so they are tanking like crazy. And force off the Warrior Brood there. Here's the Swarm Lord super unit for Tyranids. Awesome melee damage. Also grants a speed buff and reinforcement synapse. And there is Leech Essence. It's using that to heal itself up. Look at that huge heal on those Assault Marines. That was awesome. That was a level 7 Apothecary heal. 51, 159. Here comes Phantom with the assist. And forces off the Tyranids. The Swarm Lord needs to back the hell off here. And he is pulling it out. Assault Marines will cap it. Looks like we have Missile Launcher on Phantom Lands. Tactical Marines who are level 3. Tyranids have taken mid though. Lots of stuff leveling up. So lots of stuff must have died. Adila's... This is Phantom Lands, pardon me, Techmarine. Adila lost his tank. Has Stone Guard veterans and scouts now. So he must have got pushed by both players there. Again, a Brood Nest in a very poor position from X-Ray, I think. Granting 3 XP for that destruction. Hive Tyrant with that Venom Cannon needs to run away. Good grief. Venerable Dreadnought in amongst a bunch of stuff. There's an Orbital. Catching some Tyranids. And also catching a Ravener Alpha. Carnifex goes down. Venerable Dreadnought survives just about. 45, 114. Space Marines decap mid are now capping it with tax. Who have that 50% faster capping rate, and Adila doing a very good job here decapping Blue's natural. But look at this again. Torpid putting pressure on Red's natural action all over the map, and the Venerable does go down. Standing firm with stoicism there. 37-113. A very nice orbital. Catches the Assault Marines. And they do finish to cap the Tyranids. That is annoying, but look at the damage it did. 34-113. Termagant's just about getting away there. Those guys have endless swarm up to 10 models. Phantom needs to repair his stuff. Wow, Venom Brood getting absolutely disintegrated. That was Signum armor from Phantom Land as well. Saw mark target. He's going to try and cap mid. And goes down. Another orbital. 3 orbitals in a game. When was the last time we saw that? What is this? That's a Venerable from Adila now. 32-113. Adila somehow keeping pressure up on his VP, having lost quite a lot in that double. But now he has a Venerable Dreadnought. These things are so awesome. 28-113. Chasing down this Carnifex. Another Barb Strangler Carnifex from X. Or was this the original one all along and it was another one that was destroyed? I'm not sure. Look at the bodies. I think it was a Venom Cannon Carnifex that was destroyed. Venom Brood with the ranged Synapse. Hive Tyrant doesn't want to fight in melee combat with that Venom Cannon. But his Dreadnought taking a lot of damage. He's just using it to buy some time. Look at the amount of capillary towers here. Why have so many? I don't think the benefit stacks. He's trying to block line of sight now. 13-113. Down goes the Venerable. But for so much time. X unable to push mid, having to force off that Venerable. Plasma Cannon going in. This is Phantoms. Big engagement in mid. Cyclone Missile Launcher. Some great disruption and damage from that thing now. The Ravener Alpha is trying to decap mid, but it's too late. There's a double cap for the Space Marines, and they take it. A rocky start, as you'd always expect from Tyranids, but they didn't lose squads, and that's the important thing. Came back very strong. Phantom with that very quick Venerable, which caused all sorts of problems. Adila doing very well against the Hive Tyrant here. Lost a lot against that double with Rags, but held on. Look at the commanders. Apothecary level 10 for Riku. Wow. Techmarine level 5 for Phantom. Was just purchasing the Melter Gun when he went down, or switching back to it. Techmarine level 8 for Adila. Mastercrafted Bolter on him with Bionics and Orbs. He did have a Melter Gun as well. Hive Tyrant, we saw the Venom Cannon get some love. And Bonded Exoskeleton also. Rags with a level 5 Raven Alpha. Not sure why he went for Regenerate. I guess to make him tankier, but is it worth it? It's not a cheap piece of war gear. Torpid's Lictor Alpha was down, and level 3 had Feeder Tendrils and Deadly Jump, I believe. There you have it though, it's 1-1 in the series. Space Marines coming back strong. Can they keep this up? I will see you in the next game, guys. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it.